What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad you're here. The week of Thanksgiving. I hope you have a great time with your family and get to spend a lot of time with them and eat some really delicious food. That's what I'm looking forward to. Both of those things, not just the food part. And anyway, today I have a Psalms devotional for you. We are on Psalm 142. I said it last week. We are getting so close to the end of Dear Diary, but I'm really excited for the next devotional series. I'm going to be starting in January, the Continue series. I'm so excited about it. I've been saying it too much, but I am. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this devotional. I'm going to do something a little different. You can read along if you would like, but I'm going to read this entire psalm aloud to you. It's only 7 verses long, so 7 sentences long. I'm going to read it in the New Living Translation, and let's just go ahead and do it. So here we go. I cry out to the Lord. I plead for the Lord's mercy. I pour out my complaints before him and tell him all my troubles. Not very theme appropriate for Thanksgiving, but we're going to get there. Then verse 3, when I am overwhelmed, you alone know the way I should turn. Wherever I go, my enemies have set traps for me. I look for someone to come and help me, but no one gives me a passing thought. No one will help me. No one cares a bit what happens to me. Then I pray to you, Lord. I say, you are my place of refuge. You are all I really want in life. Hear my cry, for I am very low. Rescue me from my persecutors, for they are too strong for me. Bring me out of prison so I can thank you. The godly will crowd around me, for you are good to me. So, like I kind of inserted in there, this is obviously it's not like the most Thanksgiving-y type of psalm to just happen to land on this week, but at the same time, it is a model of prayer. I've talked about that so many times as we're getting closer to the end of this Dear Diary devotional series. Why do I call my Psalms devotional series #Dear Diary? Because I look at Psalms in the Bible as a lot like David's and the other psalmist who wrote the book of Psalms, because it wasn't just David. I look at it as like a diary or a journal for them. If you have been working through this series with us and you've read all these Psalms, you've seen how a lot of times in these Psalms, they're very emotional and they're very pensive, thoughtful. The person who's writing the Psalm is pouring out their emotions, their life, their frustrations, their disappointments, their discouragements, their experiences and their relationship with God or their relationship with other people, their relationship with their enemies, the people who've taken them captive. They're pouring that all out either in a song, a psalm form, or, maybe they just wrote it not for a song, but just something that is going through them at the time. And that is real life. Real life is not always perfect. We don't always feel thankful, but this psalm gives us that same model that I talk about on a regular basis for prayer. How to handle when life is not super awesome and we're not super in the mood to be thankful and everything. And so, the verse 1 through 4, it's kind of okay, I'm upset. Verses 5 through 7, the psalmist says, even though I was upset in verses 1 through 4, I am turning this around and laying my life before God, asking for his help and saying, I trust you, God. Even though this psalm has some of those darker, more negative parts where he's I'm very low and no one cares a bit about what happens to me, and hear my cry and rescue me from these persecutors. They're too strong for me. What does he sum it up with? He says, the last 3 lines of this psalm, so I can thank you. That he's talking to God. He says, the godly will crowd around me, for you are good to me. When you don't feel thankful, you still need to be using the words of your mouth to shift your attitude. We talked about that a couple of devotionals ago. The power of your words, that your words are shaping your attitude. James talks about the tongue, the power of life and death are in the tongue. And you need to, when things are just awful, God doesn't expect you to bottle that up. He wants you to lay your life before him. I keep using that phrase, but that's the phrase God kept reminding me of when I read this psalm. Lay out your life and your emotions before him, but use the words of your mouth to sum it up and say, but Lord, you are good. You are good. Your mercy endures forever. I trust you. I know you're going to take care of me. A lot of times I like to write out my prayers to God in kind of a journal format. I'll write it in the margin of my Bible or in an actual journal. I've done that for years, at least 10 years. I've just, I don't know, it's something I've been drawn to, because then I can look back over my old prayers and see how God has actually moved on my behalf and answered my prayers and done the things I've requested or not done the things that I've requested, because that would have been horrible. I like that record. And anyway, a lot of times when I look back over my old prayers that I've written out, it says all this stuff, and then it says, but God, I love you and I trust you and I am going to praise you. Help me to do that, Lord. I thank you for your goodness. You know, like really like basic, like almost formatted stuff that you think, oh, well, you're just saying that because you know to say it. But I was training myself, no, I'm going to say it, because I had read through the book of Psalms so many times that I had seen this pattern, and I was like, you know what? It's what I need to do. I need to continually be pulling myself out of the dumps and back towards God. I trust you. I thank you. I know you're going to work on my behalf, no matter what I said in the beginning of that prayer. So that's what I want to encourage you to do with your prayers. Take the example from Psalms, take that pattern. It's not cliche. It works, people. And do that as you're praying to God. Lay out your life before Him. Pour out your complaints before Him, whatever you've got to do, and then turn to Him and say, I trust you, Lord, that you will provide. You will take care of me. I love you. I thank you. All that stuff. Repetitive, I'm getting too repetitive right here at the end. But that's what I have for the devotional today. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up. And I'll see you soon with another video. And have an awesome Thanksgiving. Okay, bye.